What if the celestial creatures we admired were not so good? What if they were the real cause of Earth's strife, opposing the divine and misguiding humanity? Enoch, a mysterious man, witnessed a heavenly fight between celestial powers and the planet they were meant to protect. Enoch was in great grief and loneliness at 365 when two awe-inspiring figures, entities whose very essence flashed flaming brilliance, arrived. These celestial creatures had a holy mission: to take Enoch beyond the heavens, into unknown places unspoiled by human eyes, where the profound secrets of the cosmos awaited revelation. As Enoch explored the heavens, he discovered a dark secret, an ancient revolt that would change history forever. The Watchers, led by Semjaza, descended from heaven long ago. Their yearning for the daughters of mankind created giants, powerful beings that devoured the world and sowed chaos and war. The ensuing events will test your concept of celestial creatures, mankind, and righteousness and wickedness. Gather around as I tell the story of Enoch, who lived to impart his wisdom. On the first day of my 365th cycle, I was alone in my home. My heart was heavy with pain, and tears flowed. My heart felt a deep, unspoken grief that I could not share. In silence, I contemplated time and felt my deep loss. In that deep moment of being alone, I lay down to relax, longing for sleep to calm my restless thoughts. As I fell asleep, reality faded, and I entered the peaceful world of my dreams. The events that unfolded next were beyond anything I could have imagined. Two people appeared before me while I slept. They were unlike anything I had ever seen. Their presence was strong, and it energized the air. Their faces shone brighter than the sun. Their eyes gleamed like torches, penetrating through darkness with timeless wisdom. Flames danced from their tongues, lighting the air in a stunning display. I was drawn to them beyond their appearance. Their soul and luminosity inspired awe and astonishment. Their celestial, glistening clothes resembled feathers, gentle and flowing but powerful. Their arms were like golden wings, huge and beautiful, able to lift the skies. I was filled with terror and awe as they gathered beside my bed. In that moment, I saw animals unlike any I had witnessed before, and I knew I was in front of something heavenly. They beckoned me with a powerful chant, "Enoch, Enoch." As I slept, a stirring in my heart hastened me, and my name gently called me to wake up. I opened my eyes to see two people, their presence filling the room, and their radiance nearly overwhelming. I was confused as I sat up in bed, trying to interpret the situation. "Take heart, Enoch. Do not fear," they said, soothing but powerful. "The eternal Creator has called upon us to share this moment with you. Today, you shall rise alongside us into the heavenly realms." A sense of significance permeated the words. Their comments made my heart beat and my mind spin. Ah, heavenly land, raise up. Why was this significant? These strange beings sought me out. Who were they? Why? As I awoke in a haze, two bright entities spread their golden wings towards me. They carefully lifted me off the ground in quiet. As I rose, the earth below vanished into a lovely haze, raising me into the enormous skies. As we rose higher, the air changed, and I experienced a deep change as we traveled into realms beyond human knowledge. As we rose, I saw the clouds below us churning like a white ocean. However, our trip continued. We rose beyond the clouds into the sky's core, where air was scarce and light was gentle. Then I saw the first heaven. The beauty and purity of this country are beyond words. Peace prevailed in that hallowed sanctuary, untarnished by the world below. In that magnificent region, I understood I had entered a new world. The celestial creatures gently placed me in this first world, and as I looked about, I saw that this was just the beginning of my amazing trip. In that moment, I changed from the man who cried alone in his home. I felt as though a supernatural force had selected me for a mission that defied my comprehension. As I entered that beautiful area, I felt anxiety and amazement because I knew I was about to go on a trip that would change all I knew. My boys surrounded me as I shared my expertise and prepared them for the adventure. As I prepared to say more, the two magnificent beings extended their hands. With grace beyond my imagination, they gently welcomed me. I flew across the sky from my resting spot. I felt lighter as the wind whirled, freeing me from the world. As the clouds surrounded us, we flew upward, leaving the land below. As I looked down, the world's gorgeous mountains and meandering rivers faded into the distance. Soon, all I saw was boundless air and sky beyond the horizon. We ascended through the angelic regions until I felt no earthly weight. As we rose, a profound awareness revealed a realm beyond my wildest fantasies. The mood became holy and powerful. It felt like the spirit of existence danced in this dimension, full of energy. After what seemed like an eternity, the angelic beings led me to the first heaven. When my feet touched the ground, I felt a tremendous peace that I had never felt before. I felt like I had reached a realm where grief and terror could never exist. I felt like I had left Earth and entered a realm beyond human knowledge. I was surrounded by bright individuals with deep wisdom and insight in this holy place. They watched the sky with a calm, knowing gaze, their presence soothing and wonderful. I had never seen such marvels. Their presence seemed to transcend time and space, as if they were unchained by the rules of the world I had left. Celestial creatures that led me began speaking. I learned that I was chosen to see the mysteries of life and oblivion and comprehend when the celestial creatures descended. They claimed that this comprehension transcended mortals, yet I was interwoven into a fabric that surpassed my own existence. They told stories of the Watchers, celestial beings who had fallen from the sky, and their terrible deeds on earth. I felt tremendous grief as they spoke. One day, a story of immense beauty and suffering emerged. In their desire to live among humans, the Watchers defiled themselves by mixing with human daughters. They taught them prohibited skills, divination, and weapon making. These ideas quickly spread, leading to the creation of giants, powerful creatures that wreaked havoc on Earth. The Watchers' sins and their far-reaching consequences revealed the genuine fear. The powerful creatures they created attacked humans, eating their souls. During a period of intense unrest, the ground beneath them groaning for righteousness was heard by the heavens. As the innocent screams rose to the sky, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel looked down, sad. I felt their anguish and outrage at the world's mess in that moment. So it was declared, calculating time. It was predicted that the Watchers would pay for their sins and purify the planet from their darkness. Despite sadness, optimism blazed brilliantly. A magnificent plan protected values and ensured justice would triumph. I stood silently, contemplating the tremendous meaning of the words conveyed to me. The road ahead was a heavy task that required my best attention, not celebrity. I received a holy trust and insight that may change history. Though the Watchers died, I witnessed their collapse and chronicled their misdeeds to preserve their legacy. I internalized my wisdom while I stood in the divine world. It felt heavy, but I knew I had to do it. In this celestial realm, I saw the fundamental truths of life, the tenuous balance between righteousness and wickedness, illumination and shade, and the consequences of disturbing it. At that moment, I realized that my experience was just getting started. A heavenly hand seemed to have selected me for a mission beyond my imagination, guiding me on a journey filled with breathtaking wonders and terrifying shadows. As I looked forward, I felt reassured. I was never alone on my voyage. The luminous beings, watchers, and heavenly forces that guided me would be with me throughout my voyage. As I accepted my role in the vast scheme that had been woven before my time, we would unravel the secrets of existence and the beyond. When celestial creatures descended to Earth, their actions were both powerful and dangerous. Longing for human daughters drove them to defy their divine nature. Once dazzling and ethereal, these celestial beings now craved earthly women's beauty and charm. They were more than just celestial beings. They could shape the planet. Despite their splendor, they were tempted. Their leader, Semjaza, voiced alarm over this union's effects. He shuddered at the prospect that if they defied God, he would bear the consequences. Unwavering angels made a sacred commitment to one another. "Come, let's make a solemn vow," they said, "to stand united in this endeavor, to see this mission through as one." Their tie and purpose were clear. They would pursue their dream, regardless of the consequences. 200 angels delicately descended from the sky to the pinnacle of Mount Hermon, a place to commemorate their achievements. It was called Mount Hermon, where a holy pledge was sworn, a commitment that would last centuries. When angels descended, they picked brides from men's daughters, each choosing a lady for herself. They defiled themselves together, causing unimaginable repercussions. These angels were powerful, not just beautiful. In meeting mortal ladies, they revealed forbidden secrets. They spoke secrets supposed to be kept from men. As they explored the old root-cutting methods and the mysteries of nature and the land, they discovered charms and enchantments. After discovering these covert practices, the women used their newfound knowledge to shape and affect their society and teach their children. These couplings created powerful entities that defied comprehension. Grand, powerful creatures created destruction on the mortal world. The hunger for food drove them. They ate crop fields, animal herds, and even people. Giant appetite rose with size. The earth underneath them gave out. The giants turned on humans without mercy. However, the destructive story continued. In ancient days, giants and their celestial ancestors committed sins that tarnished creation. They unleashed their devastating energy on Earth's birds, mammals, reptiles, and fish. No creature could escape their wrath. Unfortunately, they turned on each other, eating their family and reveling in their blood. Once a garden of bliss, it is now a place of turmoil, where the pure must bear divine sins. Earth, beset by turmoil and strife, cried out for help. A scream for deliverance seemed to be its core. Every soul in the dark dimension carried the celestial creature's mistakes. The quiet prevented anybody from helping until the pleas reached the heavens. The archangels, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, watched the destruction from their celestial residence. They saw humanity's suffering, evil, and pain. Earth, once peaceful and united, became a place of struggle and transgression. The sorrowful and righteous archangels looked at each other, their hearts heavy with anguish. In the beginning, the earth was a sanctuary of harmony, yet now it echoes with the lamentations of the suffering, he said. Their cries have ascended to the very gates of heaven. The downtrodden and the dead were now pleading for justice. Indeed, many witnessed and felt their suffering. In ancient times, the archangels pleaded for divine intervention before the Lord of the ages. O Sovereign of sovereigns, Divine of divines, Monarch of monarchs, shouted. Behold, you perceive all that unfolds. You are aware of the iniquities that have transpired upon the earth. You witness the deeds of Azazel, spreading unrighteousness, disclosing sacred truths intended for the heavens. You recognize the devastation that Semjaza has caused by guiding these angels into error. The archangel's cry was urgent. They informed the Lord of the age that fallen angels had polluted earth. These couplings created giants, wreaking chaos, and making the earth cry for deliverance. In that time of prayer, the Lord spoke. His calm, powerful voice captivated everyone. He promised to judge the heavenly entities that corrupted earth. They would pay the price forever. They have tarnished creation by embracing women and staining their souls. The earth would be purified after their swift chastisement. Thus, the stage was set for a tremendous reckoning, a time of judgment when angels' transgressions would be revealed. The world, once peaceful and vibrant, will be cleansed at a period of immense conflict, and those who brought it down will reap what they sowed. This story of moral deterioration, transgression, and salvation teaches about unchecked authority and the consequences of defying God. The Watchers, led by Semjaza, descended from heaven when humans prospered. Their beautiful, elegant girls captivated the heavens. These celestial creatures, regarded as sky children, lusted after earthly females. Divine curiosity led the angels to contemplate the secrets of taking brides from men's daughters. Come, they said, let us take wives from the daughters of men and bring forth children. It was a dangerous idea that crossed divine limits. However, Semjaza, their leader, spoke wisely as the celestials counseled. The gravity of their decision made him tremble as he said, I am filled with trepidation that you may not consent to this, leaving me to shoulder the weight of a profound transgression. Despite Semjaza's concerns, the other angels persisted. They said, let us make a solemn oath, binding ourselves with fierce words, never to forsake this endeavor, but to see it through. This forged a sacred bond in the celestial realm, sealing their fates. 200 angels descended to earth and rested atop Mount Hermon. The mountain got its name because angels swore their sacred oath and rebelled against the celestial order here. In a time of immense amazement, many angels descended on earth and chose brides among men's daughters. They broke their sacred rules by corrupting themselves with these women. However, their atrocities continued. In ancient times, fallen angels lived among humans. They whispered secrets to their mortal brides that men should never hear. They showed them spells, incantations, and root cutting. These lessons were powerful enough to change reality. They taught ladies plant care, revealing nature's beautiful secrets. Women gave birth to offspring over time. However, these offspring were giants, towering above humanity. Their height reached 3,000 ells, a sight to behold and terrifying. Giants, gigantic entities born from the sacred marriage of celestial angels and earthy people, devoured everything in sight. They were never satisfied by the earth's wealth. The giants' destruction escalated with their size. When the earth could no longer supply for them, they turned their backs on humans and devoured their former allies. The immense violence and chaos caused the earth to tremble and groan. Giants, born of their fallen angel fathers, formerly wronged the air, land, and water beings. After a catastrophic turn of circumstances, they turned on each other and committed a horrific act of violence that shocked everyone. The globe was peaceful and beautiful once, but now it is full of wickedness and violence. The ground beneath them shook with grief, protesting those who had caused such destruction. The afflicted and pure cried out in the heavens, powerful enough for the Almighty to hear. Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, the archangels, saw humanity's devastation from above. They watched with sorrowful hearts and righteous fury. Earth was once a paradise, but the Watchers and their massive offspring have turned it into a war. The archangels knew decisive action was needed in their infinite wisdom and compassion. They spoke quietly, their voices heavy with experience. "The earth laments," he said, "and its anguish ascends to the very gates of heaven. The wickedness knows no bounds. What shall we do?" The archangels begged the Lord of the ages for help due to humanity's troubles. "Lo, the earth is filled with corruption," they wailed. "Azazel has imparted the ways of unrighteousness, while Samjaza has misled his fellow angels. Once they were pure, but now they have abandoned their divine responsibilities. They have tainted themselves with the daughters of men, and the earth now cries out, soaked in blood. What actions must be taken to halt this devastation?" Almighty Sacred One replied from his eternal throne of authority. He felt the reckoning coming. The world will not suffer forever. His goal will be revealed, and errant ones will pay the price. With divine intent, the archangels obtained their sacred orders. The Watchers' fate was sealed, and though the world suffered from their crimes, it would be restored to its former beauty. The two majestic observers spread their golden wings as I stood there, savoring the spectacle. With a delicate hand, they drew me forth, and I sprang from the dirt with miraculous might. I felt light, as if I were floating in the air, like a fragile leaf moved by the lovely breeze. Like a curtain, the clouds parted to reveal the infinite sky. As I rose, the world below me shrank, and my pulse pounded with awe and terror as my eyes opened to the wonders and secrets around me. The globe that felt endless and new became a small dot below, a reminder of its transience. As we entered the celestial regions, a divine presence overwhelmed us, something humans could not comprehend. I felt like I was being dragged into a timeless zone where no human had been. As we rose, I saw bright lights and dancing energies that throbbed with energy, each image more awe-inspiring than the last. After the clouds parted, we saw something amazing. The air became hallowed. A soft murmur stirred something old in my psyche. We traveled through creation, first through the low sky, and then higher. I felt my earthly worries disappear with each stride. All I felt was pure amazement. There was just amazement. I was with the holy. As we entered the first heaven, the environment changed drastically. It was different from the familiar hug of earth I had always known. Instead, the air was light and almost beautiful, and every breath seemed to calm me. I felt like I had entered a timeless realm. No restrictions or bounds existed. In this hallowed environment, anything seemed possible. A heavenly light bathed the Watchers' faces as they spoke. They showed me that I was chosen for more than this road. I would discover existence, oblivion, creation, and conclusion in the celestial regions. I would see miracles no one has ever seen. As we climbed, I saw I was being called into a greater mission, a transformative event that would change my soul. We passed the first heaven and entered the realm of the knowledgeable and strong Anunnaki, who had long studied Earth. I heard their ageless wisdom about life's cycles and the road we must all take. Their stories left me in awe and my heart open. These were cosmic discoveries of unfathomable abilities, not simply stories. At that moment, I realized that my journey was not just a physical ascent, but a profound spiritual awakening. It seemed like my soul was being revealed to the deep realities of life, death, and everything in between. According to Anunnaki legend, the Watchers flew like angels in the Most High's dazzling presence. However, cravings and lusts consumed them, causing their sad downfall. They told the story of their illicit marriage with the daughters of mankind and the powerful giants that resulted. Their actions struck me when I read the story. Giants were initially created as gifts to promote riches and power. They eventually became a burden, eating the earth's bounty and causing havoc. Angels caused chaos and destruction in their pursuit of power. Giants were not the only victims. Their actions seemed to poison creation. As the ancients told me their stories, I knew I was learning about both past and future history. In the cosmic heights, beings had seen empires rise and fall, seen time unfold, and understood being. They told stories of the mighty judgment that will purify the heavens and resurrect earth. I could sense their voices trembling as they spoke. That moment seemed tinged with suspense, as if the air was heavy with what was to come. The journey was lengthy, and I acquired a vast amount of wisdom. Despite the hardships, I came to understand that I was being prepared for a greater mission that would affect not just my own fate, but also humanity's. As we hiked, this task weighed on me. Observing cosmic secrets wasn't enough. I was destined to bring this insight to mankind and guide the lost. I gained a deep feeling of purpose as I climbed. My route was unknown, but I knew I was chosen for a bigger reason. So, the adventure that began years ago when I first saw the Watchers at my side continued. We had a wide ocean of information, experiences, and insight to discover. With each passing minute, I felt linked into a tapestry larger than myself, an eternal voyage, a spiritual bond. Enoch, the loyal scribe from the heavens, navigated humanity's difficulties while heeding the divine call to soar above earthly bounds. The Watchers were once wise and graceful celestials, but now they were corrupt. Unfortunately, they succumbed to worldly temptations, making their narrative sad. They abandoned their divine duties to pursue mortal women, disturbing the delicate balance of the celestial and terrestrial realms. Enoch had to function as the herald between the heavenly spheres and the terrestrial during this tremendous upheaval. He was called to confront these rebel angels and warn them of the eternal rules they had broken and their consequences. Enoch traveled with others. He was wrapped in a vast tapestry of celestial threads, where divine energies labored diligently to maintain the universe's balance. Enoch remained brave against the fallen angels, despite overwhelming odds. Enoch had a clear calling: to speak the truth. The fallen angels, guilty and afraid, sought him out, appealing for redemption and pardon. "O Enoch, scribe of righteousness," they said, "intercede on our behalf. Carry our petitions to the Lord of heaven." Enoch stood steadfast, his voice magnificent. He informed them that their season had ended, and their cries would remain unheard. The powerful Creator had seen their wrongdoings for years, and now was the time for judgment. Enoch declared, "You have brought shame upon yourselves. Your transgressions cannot be cleansed. You have revealed the secrets of the heavens to humanity's daughters, and now it's time to face the consequences of your actions. The giants are born from your choices. The blood is spilt in your wake, and the very earth laments for justice. The fallen angels went from haughty and powerful to sobbing and appealing for pardon. Yet Enoch persisted. He talked of their former glory and eternal life before their descent. He declared that their fate was set and that peace would never come. They would be chained and imprisoned in the depths forever. This clash was more than a heavenly judgment. It taught mankind a valuable lesson. It teaches the dangers of unchecked power and the dire consequences of ignoring one's calling. The angels had enormous intelligence and might, yet they chose wrong, ending in their catastrophic demise. It underscores humility and authority's grave responsibilities. Enoch's mission embodies redemption. Though the angels' transgressions were grave, Enoch didn't want to destroy them. Instead, he was picked to speak to their failings and proclaim that salvation is possible, if difficult. His mission was a tapestry of justice and mercy, a tricky balance to maintain when addressing such heinous offenses. The message is powerful. Our actions have consequences, and sometimes we must face our deeds, even if it hurts. As he traveled the heavens, guided by angelic powers, Enoch revealed profound mysteries and saw the complex universe and majestic design of creation. Though surrounded by information, he stayed committed to sharing the truth with those who had strayed from their path, no matter how difficult or unpleasant. Enoch instructed the fallen angels to think deeply in his final encounter. Once, celestial creatures were asked to recall their lofty beginnings, divine nature, and the enduring effects of their choices. However, for Enoch, it showed the unwavering strength of the divine plan, that despite turbulence and depravity, there was hope for rebirth and healing. Enoch became more than a messenger because of his unwavering commitment to justice. He became a symbol of divine justice, balancing the celestial and earthly realms. His story teaches us that our actions shape our world, and every choice we make can influence history for good or bad. Enoch's voyage to heaven was amazing, and his visions were unfathomable to mortals. As he was lifted into the celestial world, existence seemed to change around him. His ascent through being revealed deeper mysteries, larger wonders, and more gorgeous vistas. He crossed the winds and rose into the purest air to see the ether, a region beyond human knowledge. In a world of limitless space and clarity, only the oldest could live. Finally, they took him to the first heaven, a vast, unfathomable world. Enoch was immersed in a radiance beyond his experience. The sun's brightness was replaced with a celestial radiance that seemed to come from creation. It was brilliant and lively, pulsing with a rhythmic energy that talked of creation, life, and the universe's deep mysteries. A deep calm surrounded everyone in this hallowed area, establishing a togetherness that made the outer world irrelevant. Enoch encountered amazing things as he went deeper. Angels formerly mixed with humans, but now they gleamed brighter than his fantasies. They appeared to him as radiant fire and light entities with incomprehensible forms. They appeared before him, frightening and soothing, filling Enoch with dread and awe. In their presence, he felt both his mortal limitations and the great honor of having been chosen for this holy path. Enoch was transported higher into the sky, exceeding the first heaven and into invisible realms. Enoch saw crystal mansions of celestial beauty from the heights. No earthly castle existed like this. They were alive, permeating every surface and crevice. The ceilings resembled the paths of the stars, where constellations danced in perfect unison with the universe's ancient rhythms. Fiery cherubim adorned the enormous castle walls, their wings aglow with a brilliance that seemed to reveal the essence of creation before his eyes. The centerpiece of a large palace was a magnificent throne, which left Enoch dumbfounded. The finest crystal throne sparkled brighter than the sun. Encircled by a dazzling inferno, it emitted rivers of scorching heat that seemed limitless. Enoch couldn't describe the throne monarch's magnificence. Behold a glorious figure, whose light was so dazzling that even the angels could not see it correctly. He exuded wonder and grace like only a celestial being could. This was the sovereign of time, the eternal source of creation. As Enoch stood before the beautiful throne, his heart quaking, the Lord called him from the sky. The voice was gentle and authoritative, evoking the centers of creation. Enoch was drawn to listen to the spiritual message that would guide his life. Enoch approached the majestic throne with fear and heard a voice that changed his view of the earthly and celestial realms. The Lord once told stories of the Watchers, heavenly creatures who came down to earth and were driven astray by their desire for human daughters. The Lord exposed their treachery and its dire consequences in the sacred tale. It was about spirits that rebelled against divine purpose and succumbed to earthly wants after basking in spiritual light. The giants, the descendants of antiquity, had corrupted the earth, requiring heavenly intervention to restore it to its original grandeur. In the hallowed presence, Enoch understood his mission. He was chosen as the herald and scribe to bring the Almighty's decision to the fallen angels, the Watchers who had abandoned their assignment. Thus, the Lord told him to preach righteousness and warn the Watchers that justice would punish their sins. They were ashamed of their couplings with men's daughters, and now they were to see their beloved son's downfall. God's sentence was definitive. Those who polluted the world would not get mercy. This message burdened Enoch. He had experienced the sacred and the eternal, and now he understood his mission. He would return to earth with this precious mandate, ready to share it with anybody who would listen. He knew deep down that his journey through the celestial regions had changed him in ways he couldn't grasp, and he would always carry the mark of that holy experience. His heart filled with amazement and anguish as he was risen again. After seeing the holy, he was entrusted with spreading a timeless word. The Watchers will descend, giants will die, and earth will be cleaned. Despite this verdict, hope for salvation and universe harmony lingered. The heavens chose Enoch to lead that restoration. The extraordinary story in this film makes us think about the bigger mysteries of life and the powers that influence our world. The story of Enoch and the fallen angels makes us consider the dangers of unchecked